Follow crow's nest. So today we're here for a little bit of a different video. A few days ago I showed you how I use my latest preset pack for Faceplant to produce a little drop in around 15 minutes. Actually turned out as 13 minutes, I want to say. Now it's time to dissect two of the presets for you guys. I want to show you how the presets are made, what the theme of the preset pack is, and how you can use it to make changes to the presets to turn them into your own sounds and use them really, really well in your own production without losing your own character of sound. So let's get right into this. First of all, I want to show you one of the Reese presets. The focus of the whole pack is obviously on Multipass because Multipass is overpowered. If you don't know yet, just check out OpProfit's page. He's the master of Multipass, probably. Shout out to him for this idea. I used Multipass for a while now, but he just knows everything about it and it's pretty fascinating what he does with it. It's really, really dope. And I was like, yeah, I have to do that myself and I have to give you guys something out of the stuff that I'm doing. He's mostly using it for machine guns. I used it for machine guns too. You will see a machine gun later in this video, that's for sure. You know me for a machine gun, so I
have to deliver some machine guns, obviously.
But I also wanted to use it on Reese Basses, and I think this is something that turned out really, really interesting. It's a little experiment. First of all, we got this one wavetable. It's just a Spectral sub wavetable, which comes with Faceplant. Should turn off my subwoofer, otherwise the whole room is shaking. There we go. And what I will do now is, first of all, I will turn on the filter because it's just a filter to filter out some of the high frequencies, because most of the time I prefer to add high frequencies to the Reese Bass later on with effects and compression and stuff, instead of having them in there right from the beginning. So what I will do now is I will just make a little Reese melody, I want to say. Maybe go high to show you a bit of the higher note as well, and then we can go down again. I think something like this can be cool. Yeah, that's nice. All right, and what we will do now is, first of all, we will create a Reese. And what I'm doing is I'm pretty much throwing another wavetable in there that turns into like a dissonance of these two wavetables. So let's say if you have like two sine waves and you offset them a bit, it will create a dissonance and it will just create this wobble movement. So you can hear now, as soon as I add a sine for now, it's pretty cool already, but now I want to add a saw wave instead. It's just something that I figured out makes it a bit more aggressive, obviously. And at the end, I have just an OTT to not make your ears explode as soon as we add effects. Definitely add some of the high end back again, as I said, because of the compression it's doing. It's really, really nice. And now we are going into Multipass. And for now, first of all, I will turn off... why is it so big? Oh, it's getting... There we go. First of all, I will turn off all the FX, so I can show you what's happening and why it's happening. First of all, we will add... We have a good Reese already. You know, like this sounds good already because of the crazy compression and the typical Reese format and formula that we used. But what we will add now first is a convolver to this. And what a convolver is doing is pretty much it takes a sound that you throw in there. You see there is like a waveform in there. You can throw anything in there that you want, which is pretty cool. And it tries to create a room following that sound and that waveform. It's technically a reverb, but what you can do is you can make that reverb really, really short, as you can see. Like you can open and close it here, and we want to keep this short. To just give the whole thing this metallic, blechern, you would say in German, character. Next thing we want to add is a delay. And with this delay, we're gonna make this even more metallic. You hear it's creating like a little brrr, a metallic sound that's even playing right after the sound. So there is a certain release to it because it's a delay, of course. If we turn this up, you know, it's just creating this little metallic noise into that sound. Next up, we're gonna add another convolver. And this convolver is actually pretty important. So if we... because this convolver is only working on the delay and the mid-range of the sound. That's why multipass is pretty important, because you can split the frequencies. We don't want to affect the low end too much. We only want to affect like a certain frequency range, which in this case is from 250 hertz to 3 kilohertz ish. Next up, we will add a phase distortion. And yeah, phase distortion explains itself. It is a distortion device that looks at the phase instead of the sound itself. We can change the tone. Just to give it a bit of dirtiness and distortion, hence the name. And now we want to add, yes, another distortion. And of course we need another OTT on this. And if you ask me, this is pretty damn heavy. I think I messed up some of the convolution actually. Yeah, and that's how the Reese happened. If we turn off the multipass, it's this. And if we turn it on, it's just absolutely stupid. All right, next up, we want to dive, as I said, into one of the machine guns. There is one machine gun I was really proud of, because it's not really a machine gun. Let me turn off all the effects again, just to show you what happens. Bep, bep. Yeah, you don't see what I'm doing now, right? There we go. So we will, first of all, just do a little machine gun pattern. So what happens here is pretty much just one of the LFOs that attacks the sink, which is pretty much a pitch. Then we got a ladder filter. A ladder filter is just a pretty dirty filter type if you want. I'm not here to educate, I'm just telling you what happens. Next up we got a carve EQ, because I wanted to get some of the dirty low end out. And next up we go to the interesting stuff. Oh, I had a distortion turned on. Well, we can leave it on now, whatever. Next up, we're gonna add a convolver again. I told you what a convolver does. Without it, with it, just gives it a nice little tone. Next up, I want to add a reverb. So I wanted to give it some reverb. Next up, we got a multipass again with an OTT, which does a lot already. And trust me guys, compression is absolute magic. Compression is so much more powerful than any distortion or whatever. It's unbelievable. Shout out to Mick Gordon for that. And then we will add the multipass again. And this multipass here is not doing as much as the other one. I think it's actually too low, right? Let's see. Can you, hello? Actually, we can just do it like that, I guess. So we can hear both octaves. And now we will add a delay to this again. And a shaper for even more distortion. And we have a little automation here as well, which changes the sound pretty nicely. We can even change the length of the LFO. Did I turn this accidentally into the best acid sound ever? Yeah, we can just make a techno song out of this. But yeah, that's 2 of the presets that I just wanted to show you real quick. If you like this, make sure to check the description for a link to the presets if you want to grab them. They are still discounted by €5, I think. If you want to check the store itself, there is masterclasses, there is other presets, there is sample packs in there. It would mean the world. It supports my channel immensely if you grab stuff there, and it will definitely help you to improve your production. Also real quick, what I wanted to tell you is, if you want to support me directly and you want to support this YouTube channel directly and everything I do here, make sure to check out my Patreon campaign. It's also in the description below. Thanks a lot, guys. I hope this was helpful for you. Love you all. Peace.